Do you recall Dwayne Wayne's alma mater, his high school?
Whoa, what a great question. No, I don't.
Mhm.
Wow. Somebody asked me, yeah, would you guys like to play trivia? Da, da, da. I mean,
Mhm.
they probably won't get the questions, but you guys will. I was like, I'm good. I'm getting all the you
Okay.
just you
I
just
just knew
shot
you
me.
were
You
with
just
that one.
stumped me.
Good. I am Naila Smith with The Quintessential Gentleman, and I am joined by actor and director Kadeem Hardison, who became known for his role as the fast talking, flip sunglass wearing, girl watching Dwayne Wayne. Dwayne Wayne on NBC's hit show A Different World, alongside Lisa Bonet, Jasmine Guy, and Debbie Allen. This role made him an instant 90s icon and a memorable television figure, and he even directed several episodes of the show. So, following Kadeem's breakout role, Kadeem he most recently starred in Moonhaven for AMC, was a series regular on Teenage Bounty Hunters for Netflix, and recurred on the comedy series Black Monday for Showtime. Kadeem
Black
also
fun.
starred in the Disney Channel's Casey Undercover opposite Zendaya for 3 seasons and guest starred
Zendaya.
Zendaya. Oh my gosh,
Zendaya.
I love her. I don't even. Okay,
I
no,
did that once.
you did. Zendaya, thank you. And recurred on various shows such as Grownish, Parenthood, Girlfriends, and Everybody Hates Chris, along with many, many others. Last but not least, you took several comedic supporting roles in films such as Spike Lee's School Days, Keenan Ivory Wayans' Black Exploitation tribute, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, and Ron Shelton's White Men Can't Jump. Heavy hitters. He also co-starred along Eddie Murphy and Angela Bassett in the comedy Vampire in Brooklyn. Such an honor to meet you. You are truly an icon. A Different World is my all-time favorite television series. So
Let's go.
super excited. I know. I know you're probably sick of that at this point. So,
No, not at all.
well, glad to hear that. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So to circle back to my original point, do you recall? I have a question for you. Do you recall Dwayne Wayne's alma mater, his high school?
Whoa, what a great question. No, I don't.
Mhm.
Wow. Somebody asked me, yeah, would you guys like to play trivia? Da, da, da. I mean,
Mhm.
they probably won't get the questions, but you guys will. I was like, I'm good. I'm getting all the you
Okay.
just you
I
just
just knew
shot
you
me. You
were with
just
that one.
stumped me.
Good, good. I'll give you a hint. It was in the Bronx.
F I no 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 oh
F I.
shoot now I
You was
know.
gonna say FIT.
No 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 no.
Fashion. Okay.
Something wait, what was up in the Bronx?
Wrong science.
Oh my God.
And I went there. That was my
Bravo.
alma mater
Oh
as well. So
wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So from
Oh
Brooklyn,
yeah.
I took that train to the Bronx. Everything. Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
really, truly full circle.
Oh, that's
Um,
great.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So so jumping
Stumped
into
me
the
in the first
question.
minute.
What's that?
Okay. You stumped me in the first 2 minutes of the
Oh
interview.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
That's awesome.
I
Awesome.
appreciate that. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So jumping right in, your prolific career has not only spanned television, but also film, theater, animation, voiceovers. Is there a preference in terms of your body of work or like in terms of acting or directing or the type of genre? Like you've done so much. So was there something that you were more had to lean
Um,
towards?
I love all of the acting, whether it's like I've
No,
only
no
done two
favorite child.
plays. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I've only done two plays
Okay.
and not nearly as much animation as I would have liked to. But any kind of go to work play, and make believe,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to choose between those. Now you don't eliminated the cousins and the uncles, and now
That's
you got
right.
my sisters
You
and my
uh-huh.
my my, my
Uh-huh.
moms, and it's hard to really pick from those. Like television is different than film.
Mm-hmm.
Um, plays a crazy rehearsal and really digging in deep and exploring so much. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Under supervised, which we don't
Okay.
get a lot of times. You work on stuff in the house or wherever you want to work on it with a coach or whatever. So you may not go as deep, but
Mhm.
with a play you are supervised. There's a director, there's somebody there watching and everybody participating.
Yeah.
It's a whole different experience. Each one is different and each one is great. I couldn't cut off any of the acting tentacles.
Okay. Okay. And acting versus directing.
Acting,
Acting hand. Oh,
directing is fun, but I don't get to act.
yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Right.
So, of course, A Different World was an iconic television show which was impactful to so many generations and
Mhm.
continues to be. You've stated that you're proud of the legacy of the show and the impact of young people, young Black people attending HBCUs. What did the show mean to you on more of a personal level?
It was where I grew up. It was like a better version of high school and college. It was I came from another city from out of town, so I was a New Yorker in California, and
Mhm.
so was most of the cast, Lisa, Lilicoy, Marissa, all New Yorkers that came west to do the show, and all we had kind of were each other.
Right.
Jasmine, Daryl, Cree, all of them. All we had was each other. So we leaned on each other and we became a really tight knit group, family. Um, so yeah, that's what it meant for me, really. Like, yeah, we had fun. I got a chance to act. I got a chance to do my favorite thing. And get paid and and do something that resonates with people, that resonated and then still resonates. um, it's taken on new meaning later in life. But when I was 23 and we were doing it, it was like going to school. It was like going to school, but acting school camp retreat. We
It,
had the
it, it certainly
best.
looked that way. It looked like
Yeah,
y'all was
yeah,
the time of y'all lives.
yeah,
It showed.
yeah.
It
A
showed.
ball. Yeah.
Um, okay, thank you for that. And so
Mhm.
speaking of A Different World at HBCUs, you and your former castmates are currently touring different HBCUs across the country. I think it's an interesting juxtaposition that no one from the core cast attended an HBCU, but it obviously it's undoubtedly influenced the increase in HBCU enrollment, right? So,
Right.
what have those conversations been like at those schools while on tour, particularly with Black men and how they've responded to your character as a Black man in college?
It's mostly the when we have the conversations with the kids, I
Mhm,
find it's a lot of the girls or the women, young women who
mhm.
speak up, who ask the questions. The guys will make a statement and say this meant this to me, and the all the women are more inquisitive, I think, a little bit. But
Yeah,
conversations are great. Like the things they ask when it gets out of what was the impact on my life, you guys are the impact on my life. Like seeing them in school doing this and being inspired by what we did, that's the impact. So it's different, you know what I mean? They ask, about shows or moments and things, but the real impact, the bigger picture is, wow, look at this. I'm sitting in a school that I pretended to go to, a school like I pretended to go to 35 years ago, and I'm impacting these students. They
18, 19-year
decided
old.
to go because of us. Yeah, they chose this. They watched us and said, "Hey, that looks like fun.
Yeah.
I can't beat it." Like it never stops paying.
Beautiful, beautiful. So kind of transitioning to the shy a little bit, and the reason of the oh, okay, okay. I started getting into it. I started getting into it.
Good show. It's a
It is.
good
It
show. It's a
is. It really
crazy show. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So in the latest season of The Shy, which recently premiered on Showtime, you play Professor Gardner, a college literature professor who inspires Bakari, played by Ahmad Ferguson, and guides him in a new direction. What attracted you to the show and to this particular role?
The first season of The Shy I watched religiously. I watched every episode. I was on it. That was my joint. Then I
Yeah.
got busy and started flying around and working and missed a season and then missed another season. It always seemed like I was gone when they were on.
Okay.
And the next thing you know, I turn around and they're 5 seasons in. And I was like,
Crazy.
hey, yo, Lena, can I get on?
All
Yo,
right,
I love that
right.
joint. Like, let's
Yeah.
do something. Let's find something to do. It was literally that easy, thank God, because of Back to a Different World. Like, really,
Yeah.
her production company is called Hillman Grad. So
Oh,
she's
oh,
the creator,
wow,
and
I did not know that. See,
she's the
you see the
creator of the
reach. You
show. Yeah, yeah, she's the
see-
creator of the show. So I
And
just was like,
wow.
hey, bud, what you
Yeah.
doing?
I love it. I
Let's
love
play. And she was, let me think of something. And the next
it.
thing you know, I got a call like, I got something. We're gonna do
Yeah.
something. And here we are. Yeah, it was a no-brainer. It wasn't like, oh, let me see what you're talking about, or I don't understand, or let me audition 3 times and see if I can win it. It was really like a call and an answer. So
Okay.
I'm eternally grateful to her.
I'm curious to see where he's where they're going with that. I'm very curious.
Me too.
Yeah, I watched the first couple of seasons, and then I kind of I got to go back and watch, like, I want to say 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Jumped into, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. That's where I had to catch up. Like once I did it, like I did the show, but I hadn't caught up. So I didn't know any of the characters other than the first season characters. And
right.
not a lot of them left.
Right. Well, hopefully, Professor
Yeah,
Gardner's gonna be
yeah.
okay.
Hopefully Gardner don't cross the wrong path, and
I know, because
I
there's
mean,
a lot of paths, a lot of
it could
paths.
be dangerous. It could be
Uh-huh.
dangerous.
Uh-huh. All right. So yeah, I recall Dwayne Wade being a professor at Hillman at one point. Do you feel like
Yeah.
you have an affinity for mentorship or teaching in your personal life?
In my professional life, yeah, I've always wanted to do that because someone else writes it and plans it, and I get to express. Personally, that's much harder for me. You know what I
Right.
mean? But getting to hopefully inspire somebody by pretending or acting it and having the space to go ahead and showcase it. That's yeah, I've always liked that. I liked it when we did it with Dwayne,
Yeah.
even though he was just learning how to do it and he was messing up sometimes and doing and making missteps sometimes. Um, that was a lot of fun. So yeah, to kind of see an evolved version or a different version, a alternate universe version of him
Yeah.
now living in the Midwest versus the East, back East.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's fun.
Okay. Okay. So I take it you can't give any spoilers about the direction of the.
I just got this job. You
Okay. Okay.
crazy?
Too
I'm
much.
not
Too
saying
soon.
nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I'm waiting week to week like y'all.
Right. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. So you explored different types of roles and opportunities throughout your career. Did you have like a dream role, or do you feel like you've already had the chance to play it? Is there something more that you want to do, kind of like looking ahead, or do you feel like you kind of, you know?
No, they're all dreams. It's funny. Each one,
Mm,
how you approach it, it makes it a dream. You know what I mean? Once you see something and you go after it and then you get it and then you get a chance to do it, it's a dream. It's an overall, big picture dream. But yeah, the dream is to keep working, keep acting. Yeah, I'd like to be a
story.
superhero, a supervillain, all of that, But
Oh
but
yeah, you could be the next
every
Marvel something.
let me drop some weight, let me drop some weight, and then yeah, let's go do it.
Listen,
Yeah,
you good, you good.
thank you. Yeah, yeah. I would, all of it is you know, what I like to
Awesome.
do. So I can't really. It's hard to say pick any one thing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So it has been speculated that just kind of talking to just big picture in terms of like the industry, right? It has been speculated that the presence and volume of Black productions in Hollywood has been inconsistent. So by that I mean, like, in the 70s, there was all this like programs and shows and a lot, people, you saw Black faces out there. Same for the 90s. and there was like a little bit of an absence or a dip in like I want to say 2000s. Then you
Mhm.
had like 2017 with like Insecure and Clean Sugar. You had all these shows at the same time. So it's like there's just inconsistency in terms of like black produced shows. So what's your take on that? Or how do you feel about it? Is this something you've noticed personally? And do you have any thoughts about it?
Yeah, it seems like there's a shortage of creators, creatives that,
Hmm.
that can call the shots, that can greenlight stuff, that can say, I'm going to do this and this is how I'm doing it, and then go do it. You always are kind of beholden to a studio or a network to get on board with. And then if they say no, then you got to keep shopping or stop, think of something else. So yeah, I think where it seems the it seems to be consistently under the radar. Like there's
Hmm.
consistency, but it's consistently under.
Hmm.
Every now and then a blip will happen and there'll be
Right.
a spike, but it's consistently low. And I think that's just because the people aren't in place to make those decisions and push things through. And so yeah, I want to see that because it's usually it's got to be that opinion. The person in charge has to think, I want to see that or I don't want to see that.
Mm. Do you see any hints of that changing or not so much?
Yeah, I think from the time that the streamers came along,
Hmm.
things have changed. There's been a spike. I mean, all
Right.
the internet babies, what I mean, they're still evolving. So yeah, I think we've definitely seen a rise in especially quality.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I think it should continue, but you never know, man. It's like the wind;
Mm.
it changes on the drop of a dime. You never know.
Seriously. Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. So we recently recognized Mother's Day and
Mhm.
actually had the pleasure of watching your mother, model and activist Beth Ann Hardison, her documentary Invisible Beauty, which I absolutely loved, in which you appeared. So how has she influenced? Amazing, amazing woman, by the way, from what I could tell.
Yeah, I
How
have
has
nothing to
she?
do with it.
What's that?
I said I had nothing to do with
Yeah, another day.
it.
Well, I'm sure she has something to do with you. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
how has she influenced your career path, or was it a separate dynamic considering she wasn't as involved in show business? She was
Oh,
she, she was a fashion, she was, popular culture, yes, fashion, but not so much acting and
yeah, no, she's been the the chief consigliere from day one. Like before I do anything, I gotta run it past her or tell
Mhm.
her about it. You know what I mean? Just to get her take on it. So in the beginning, when I definitely needed the guidance, um, she was there with every decision. Some she agreed with, some she didn't agree with, some she learned something from, some I learned something from. But yeah, she's I can't wait to tell her good news.
Well, I know
you
she,
know,
and she seems like a tough one to
yeah,
impress.
yeah, that's what I'm
I got
saying. Yeah,
that.
I'm bringing the good news.
Yes,
I'm bringing, I'm
yeah,
bringing the good news. It's always fun. It's always extra special.
yeah.
But yeah, the influences. Yeah, if there's anything that people see in me that they like, know that it pretty much comes from her and my father. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
But yeah, she was the main influence, the guiding. She was the one that pushed me towards whatever it is I said I wanted to do, whatever it is I thought I could do. She was always the best support. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'll pay for it. You got to go to class. You got to learn how to do it. Da, 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 da. Okay, if you want to go back, you're gonna pay for it, and that's a whole nother lesson. And so yeah, yeah, her influence, her stamp is all over. The apple don't fall far from the tree, as we say.
Okay, all right now. So going back a little bit to like the industry, so what are some of the highlights and pitfalls of the entertainment industry from your perspective in the earlier days, so like the 90s, et cetera, compared to current times?
Yeah, as Tip said, it everything goes in cycles. The way you
Mhm.
did Bobby Brown, it's just Amber like Michael. Um,
Wait, what was that?
oh,
What,
that was a Tribe Called Quest reference. I'm sorry, I had a
can you run that back?
yeah. He said, "Well, Daddy, don't you know that things go in cycles? The way that Bobby Brown is just amping like Michael.
Okay, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Like you see it, you see it as a kid, and then all of a sudden it comes back around. It's like a sun going
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Um, uh, what did you ask me again? Sorry.
Yeah, it was like what are some of the highlights and pitfalls of the entertainment industry?
Pitfalls. I
Mhm.
remember in the 90s, even though I didn't get close to it, kids were dying trying drugs in clubs. It was like that was a crazy thing that hit, especially in LA. There was a lot of, you know,
Yeah,
experimental, drug use and people were, ODing, like bad things were happening.
yeah.
Um, and
I
then
feel
I
like that's kind
remembered,
of low key still happening now.
right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Cycle
it's like
like
right.
that's the I remember that then and kind of being like, whoa, snap, really? And
Hmm.
now when Z went and did Euphoria, that was kind of like the things they were doing. I was like, oh snap, this is what y'all are doing now. Like
That
y'all
was
just
jarring for me. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, so it's cycles. It seems like things repeat them. History repeats itself. Um,
yeah.
and yeah, those are the pitfalls that I saw that I've recognized instantly in the 90s. Was like, yeah, I got to stay clear of that.
Hmm. And I think you kind of touched on some of the highlights just even throughout this conversation. So
Yeah, just being able to work as an actor and
yeah. And
the
that was like special too. Like, yeah, you just saw a lot of the same faces, and there
yeah
must have been like a crazy bond there between so
yeah.
many people to this day.
I still call it the best time of all time.
I tell people that all the time. Watching y'all, I wasn't a part of it, but watching you, I'm like, they look like they had a time, like a time
Yeah,
was had.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You spend the rest of your life kind of chasing that lightning. If you can catch it
Hmm.
in a bottle like that, it ain't easy, but you
Yeah.
you you know what it's like when you see it. You know when you like what it's like when you got something special. I haven't done that. Now I can recognize it. I'm clearer.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Um, so just a couple more questions. I know you have to run, but you seem to be constantly working. So is there anything you'd like to share in terms of upcoming projects?
I wish I could. I'm I'm
Ah,
I'm I'm excited about
breaking
something.
news.
Yeah, I wish I could. I'm excited. There's something popping that I'm excited to be a part of. And yeah, I wish I could say something. I can't wait for them to say something so I can say something.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh,
They ain't
yeah.
said nothing yet, so I can't say nothing first.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear about it. When it's time, when it's ready, we'll
Yes,
hear
indeed.
about it.
Yes,
Feel free to
indeed.
come back and talk about it. You're always welcome. And one last question that we like to ask everyone that we interview. We want to ask everyone to finish this sentence. Black men need dot dot dot. Yeah, I had to hit you with the first
Yeah,
question,
word up.
and
Gee,
then the last
wow,
question.
man.
What do black
Jeez.
men need?
Ah,
I know that's broad.
economic freedom.
Oh, I know that's right.
So, there was one thing that instantly came to my mind, but that was for black boys.
Hmm. Well,
But
that
thinking
counts.
black boys need love.
I think black men need love too.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. As a man, you get there, you kind of move on to something else that you might need. But it's important for the boys to get love
yeah,
early and often. Makes
absolutely,
better men. Yeah,
absolutely. You got to start
yeah.
from somewhere, right? So,
Absolutely.
well, again, thank you so much. I know that's my time. This has been such an honor, such a pleasure. Um, kudos to you and everything that you're doing. And I hope to see what's coming up soon.
as soon as I can say something, I'm gonna say something, but I can't say
Yes,
that.
yes, please do. Please do. All
All
right,
right.
Kadeem. Thanks again.